Hello everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightpriest Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her, and just remember, it's always Dracula.
Hello everyone, my name is Ariana, my pronouns are she, her, and I play Elara Spinelspark, whose pronouns are also she, her, and it's Dracula. Dracula.
Hello everyone, my name is Wayra, my pronouns are she, they, and I play Véres, whose pronouns are he, they. And it is always Drac. Drac is always back.
Drac is back.
He never leaves.
A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, the three learned that a sect of magical investigators known as the Sigi were expected to arrive in Ozrin, along with councilperson Yolan Sophandaris, causing Véres to urge the group to leave town sooner. They carried on to Ozrin's Center for Geology, Mining, and Mythic Bestiology so that Elara could add another guild visit to her guild book. There they saw the skeletal remains of a black dragon. We all learned that Ivy has a special interest in dragons, as she was able to identify the bone of a copper dragon mixed in with the other remains. Cameron, the mythical beast researcher showing them around, was impressed with Ivy's knowledge. But tension built as Cameron offered to buy Bia and then took a turn for the worse when Cameron insulted Elara and her ability to choose a concentration. A tense encounter ensued with Ivy using some choice words directed at Cameron while Véres put himself physically in between Cameron and Elara. As the three left, Ivy informed Winola, the very nice front desk person, that there were 2 sets of dragon bones and that Cameron was incompetent. They were stopped on the way out by a copper dragonborn who apologized and stamped Elara's guild book. Later that night, Véres fell asleep in Elara's room, and when he awoke, the two had a heart-to-heart where, after some questions from Elara, Véres explained that he has no one to look out for him, and Elara finally opened up about her feelings regarding the events in Grimford. We pick up now the morning after. Morning comes.
I think dawn breaks, and Véres is once again, I'm assuming, the first one awake.
I don't know. I think that Elara, to everyone's surprise, is up very early, and I think that she is outside in the training grounds with her crossbow practicing, because Ivy practiced and Véres practiced and they're leaving soon, and she should probably learn how to use her fucking crossbow.
I think Bia's down with you. She heard you leave the room. And so Bia followed after you because she was expecting pancakes. And you go out and start shooting a crossbow. And she's like, all right. And she just sits in the stands and watches you.
Does she wake up early, or has she just not slept?
I don't think that she has actually slept.
I didn't think so.
No. Now that she has company and Bia, she's just slinging crossbow bolts into the test thing. The thing. And every time she hits one, she'll be like...
Bia claps.
Bia, yeah, she'll be like, Bia, did you see that? I'm getting closer to the mark. Is it called a mark? I don't even know if it's called a mark. The bullseye.
Meh.
Why is it called the bullseye?
Meh.
She nods and shoots again.
How long has she been down there?
Maybe 30 minutes. She's already tired.
She's about to be...
She's made a game of it, though.
Has she?
Yes. Her and Bia. Bia's fetching the crossbows for her, so she doesn't have to walk all the way across.
That's so cute. So I think when the back door opens to the inn that leads out to the training grounds, and Véres walks out, stretching already, he stops mid one arm over his head.
Grabbing the elbow?
Yeah, grabbing the elbow and pushing his hand down his back. And stares at you for a second with his head slightly tilted, Elara, and then drops his arm.
Is she facing the door? No, it's probably facing the other way. How is it set up?
When you walk out the back door, the right side is where the targets are, so she would be standing on the left.
Okay. So perpendicular to the building?
Yeah. So she'll see out of her peripheral.
Well, she misses her shot And she looks over as Bia goes and grabs it. And she goes, hi.
Bia trots up to Véres with the bolt.
He crouches down and takes it from Bia and says, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What a good little helper you are. Gives her a little scourge, picks her up. Good morning, Elara.
Good morning.
It's weird to see you out here so early, or at all.
I'm training.
I see that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you and Ivy did it, and we're leaving soon, and I'm not very good at using my crossbow.
Did you want some help with that, or?
Yeah, sure. Do you know how to shoot a crossbow?
I do.
Cool.
Hold on one moment. And he sets Via down on one of the chairs. I want to make an insight check or something. Perception, maybe.
4.
Like bags under her eyes.
Oh.
Has she slept?
She's shaking a little bit.
I don't think you have to make an insight check. She hasn't slept. She's got that weird, like, I feel like she's got that weird overtired energy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Her eyes twitching. No. Like, neither one of you have ever seen her up this early. And anytime she's been woken up early, she's been...
No.
Pancake
Day.
Yeah, she was
day.
up butt ass early for that.
She didn't sleep that night either, though.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is reminiscent of Pancake Day.
Oh, okay.
Overtired energy.
Elara, have you slept at all?
No. You left my room really late last night, and then I just started working more on a project, and then before I knew it, it was like almost time for people to start waking up, so I figured I would just come out here and do this before everyone else got out here, because I don't really want everyone to see me doing it, because it's not... She, like, points at the target, and there's, like, crossbows on the floor. Bia just keeps getting the same one. She hasn't brought me back, like, a stack of them. It's just, I think it's, like, her favorite one.
Véres nods and walks over and goes and picks up the crossbow bolts off the ground.
The fletching on the bolt that she keeps bringing back is blue.
Oh, that's why she likes it. Okay.
I love that.
That's so cute. He goes and gathers them all into a bundle and walks over and hands them back to her.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, let's see you take a shot.
She nods.
Roll to hit.
3 on the die for a total of 7. She steadies, she aims, and she shoots.
And it nicks the bottom of the target and hangs from, like, material that covers it.
She goes, I hit it.
That's true. Technically, I suppose.
Pregnant pause.
He goes and gets it, and he comes back.
If you just let them accumulate over there, then you only have to make one trip to pick them all up.
No, you're right, but, I don't want anything to be in the way while you try to aim.
Fair, okay. Less distractions.
That's right. So, I can see a few things already. Do you mind if I show you?
She hands you the crossbow.
And Véres brings it up to his eye, like, level.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like holding the top of it out with one hand and the bottom with the other. With the mechanism. Just like Elara was. And I'm gonna get him to take a shot.
Let's go. Natural
Imagine
1.
he fucking whiffs.
I would die. I would actually die.
Vera always rolls high, so it doesn't matter.
I think you watch him take aim. He takes in a breath, holds it for a second, and lets loose the bolt, and it sinks almost dead center in the target.
Elara claps. Maybe you should use a crossbow.
He shakes his head. He lowers it, and he hands it back to her. He says, I do when I need to, but typically I would prefer to be, right up in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't carry one around, so...
Well, you can always use mine if you need it.
I would prefer you to use your crossbow, if it's all the same to you.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
I know, and honestly, you hit things last time with it.
Mm-hmm. I did.
So, obviously you can use it, just improving your aim. Do you mind if I show you how to hold it?
It's at this point that Ivy comes down, and she walks out and she sees the two of them, and I think she just stands there for a second and then sees Bia and goes over to Bia, scoops her up from the chair that she was laying in and puts her on her lap and just sits and watches, not saying shit, because she's also tired.
Do I see her? Do we see her?
Roll a perception check.
I got a 9, so
It's a 7.
Yeah, no. If you see her, she's so quiet for once in her life.
No stealth needed. She just slinks over to a chair and
Yeah.
sits down like,
She's wearing slippers, so she's quiet.
Yeah, I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
And he gets in her space with her permission and starts like showing her where to hold it and like what level brings it up to her face. He like leans down to her kind of shoulder level and like make sure the aim is right. He also like puts his feet and like gently shoves them aside to like make her stance wider.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so take aim.
So I think that when Véres gets up in her space, she kind of like tenses a little bit and she takes a deep breath and like relaxes. And she goes to kind of aim, like she looks over towards him and she goes, okay, like this. And then I think as she looks over, like, is he like right in her, like close in her face?
He's pretty close, yeah.
When she looks over and she realizes how close he actually is, she inadvertently pulls the trigger and the crossbow goes off.
Roll to hit.
11.
Elara, you hit the bottom of the target.
So I think she looks back when it hits, and then she looks back at Véres and she goes, oh, I hit. And then she goes to like step out of his space, but his arm is still like around her.
Yeah.
So she bumps into his arm, and I think she steps on his foot, and then just like drops the crossbow and does like she ducks down and just like steps out of the space.
Makes a dexterity saving throw, Elara. I will for Véres as well.
She got a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good. Elara, you stumble as you try to slip out of his grasp, and you're able to right yourself. And you see that he was reaching to steady you if you needed it, but he doesn't make contact when he sees that you've got it.
She goes, wow, that was thank you for that was great. I hit the target. So that's good.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're
You look over and see Ivy's just
Hi, Ivy.
Véres does a very presentery bow. That's oddly perfect. And says, thank you.
Yeah, right,
I will
make a
be here
performance.
all week.
Make a performance.
Performance?
Yeah.
Performance. Let's see. It's a 17. So.
Hey. So it is really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. But he's like, thank you so much.
Ivy clasps her hands and like holds them up to her cheek, and she's like, I think I could literally cut the sexual tension with a knife. That was delicious. Thank you.
I think he cocks an eyebrow at you, Ivy.
I'm learning how to use the crossbow better.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see Zath standing on the corner of the field as well. He's eating his breakfast. He was there the whole time, just like minding his business.
Zath has a pancake in hand. He takes a bite when he makes contact. Just.
I think Véres reaches down and picks up the crossbow and hands it back to Elara.
Thanks.
Of course. Ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
If you... Well, what am I to do, Ivy?
I'm obsessed.
If you ready it, load your bolt, lift it up to your eyesight.
Mm-hmm. She does it.
You aim, lift it up to aim at the target.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take a deep breath and you hold. And then you fire.
When do I exhale?
On the fire.
Okay. She's gonna try again.
Okay.
Advantage?
Yeah, I'd say. Let's give it a shot.
I think it's an 18 on the die.
Is it actually good? Or are you lying to me?
No, I'm not lying. I got a 2 I got a 2 and an 18. 22.
Holy shit. So Elara, with a bit of instruction and like some actual solid steps to follow, you ready that crossbow, you aim, and you fire as instructed. And you hit dead center in that target.
She like jumps up and like goes like, and she turns to like did you see it? Did you see that?
Ivy and B are cheering.
Véres claps.
She drops her crossbow and like goes to double high five Véres.
He looks confused but holds up his hands.
She slaps them and then she runs over to Ivy. Did you see it? I got right on the bullseye. That was good.
She holds her hand up for a high five like she just saw them doing.
She does two. She puts both of her hands like one in front of the other and she hits them both. She goes, sorry, I haven't slept and I have a lot of energy and I'm really excited.
You haven't slept?
No, and she runs back to the crossbow and she's going to try to shoot it again.
Okay.
Just one more time.
Oh, Icarus.
19.
Oh, not Icarus.
Shit. So, Elara, you don't hit dead center this time, but you hit like right on the edge of like the center ring.
She goes, see? Thank you, Véres.
Of course. Very impressive.
She nods.
And with that, I think I'll get on with my morning. With that, Véres starts stretching for the day to go on his exercise.
I think Elara will keep practicing with the crossbow, and I think at some point she's like, Ivy, isn't today the day of your play?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Sure.
Cool. Thanks for not forcing me to go with you.
She nods. I mean, even if I was trying to, the fact that you didn't sleep last night, what were you doing?
Well, I was working on, actually...
Zath was there when she said that Véres left her room at really late in the night. So he just like looks at you, Ivy, and does like an eyebrow wiggle over his pancake.
You see Ivy's gaze focus behind you, watch, and then sharply refocus on you.
Well, I was actually working on, and she's like screaming across, because they're not like, she's still practicing. She's like, well, I was actually working on figuring out how to make my nanobots produce heat, you know, like we talked about the other night. And then Véres fell asleep in my room, and then they woke up, and then we talked for a little bit.
So you produced some heat of your own then?
No, I didn't even make any progress on the project. It's really just notes at this point.
Véres is doing push-ups now.
But maybe I'll try something out later. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Véres would love to help you with that.
She looks over at him. You can all help me if you want to, honestly. I mean, it was your idea.
Véres with one hand is doing push-ups with one arm behind his back. It's like, that's not what she means, Elara.
Sorry, I'm not really into Véres that way, so I don't think I'm going to be able to help you with that aspect. But thanks for the offer, I guess.
Elara looks so confused. So confused.
Véres stands up and he brushes off some dirt from his pants. For the love of God, sex, Elara.
You see
that's
her
what she's
eyes
talking about.
Go wide, and she drops the crossbow like at her side.
Zeph falls out of his chair dead. You hear him laughing and choking on his pancake.
She looks at you, Ivy, and then she looks at Véres, she looks at Zath, she's like, she just shakes her head. She goes, no, Ivy, I think you're confused.
Elara, I think between the two of us, you're the one who's the most confused.
Who are you saying had sex?
No, sorry, I think that she needs to be implying that we did. Not that we actually did.
Oh, no. We were just working on projects.
Mm-hmm.
Not even together, really, you know?
Projects. And she does air quotes around the word projects.
No, Ivy, it was purely platonic.
Elara nods. Okay, well, you've made this whole situation very weird now.
Véres nods in agreement.
She bows. No, she curtsies. She curtsies.
I think it's about time that we all are done with our togetherness for now. She kind of like starts picking up all of her crossbow bolts.
Bia has the blue one in her mouth, and she's attempting to play keep away with Elara.
Véres goes over to Ivy, puts an arm around her shoulder, says, "You are a shit disturber."
She smiles so cheekily up at you.
He grins, and he puts her in a headlock and he starts fucking up her hair.
She screams.
Elara takes this moment to snatch the bolt away from Bia.
I'm just imagining Zath sitting at a table watching this all go down. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
He's like, yes, I remember my adventuring group.
I was an adventurer like you once.
Then took an arrow to the knee.
Oh
So, Véres, as the three of you guys are walking in, I want you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Now I roll really well all the time.
What'd you roll?
Natural one.
No.
So I think as you are about to get through the doorway, you're holding the door open probably for the two ladies. I think as you're about to crest yourself, you start to feel this unnatural warmth spread through your body. It starts at your head, like the center of your forehead, and just sort of trickles downwards. And as it crests over the top of your head, you start to smell oleander.
Is it a familiar scent?
It is a very familiar scent. You've smelled this many, many, many times before, and you had hoped to never smell it again. And in your head, kind of reverberating through your skull, you hear, "Okay, darling, you've had your fun. You know, I'm almost offended leveling a town without me. Now come home. Don't make me come get you." And then that warmth quickly leaves your body, like sucked out of you, and you're left shivering.
I think Véres stumbles and puts a hand on the door frame just for a second, almost like he got lightheaded.
Do we notice? Perception.
I'm gonna roll.
Make perception check.
14.
Ivy rolled a 19, and Bia rolled a 17.
I'm gonna roll. No, I rolled a natural one for deception.
Hey, you okay?
Véres?
He just nods. He doesn't speak. He nods like a curt, rapid nod, and he heads upstairs quickly.
Laura looks at Ivy.
Ivy looks at Elara. What just happened?
Ivy, make an insight check.
Yeah. 23.
Ivy, you get the sense that he is afraid and uneasy.
Do you think that they're mad because I stepped on their foot before?
No, he looked afraid.
She kind of makes like a questioning expression, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Ivy, Elara too. When he leaned against the doorframe, there was a moment where it looked like he shook something off, like physically.
Well, you know, I told them last night that it was okay for him to, you know, not be okay about all the stuff that happened, and maybe he just is exploring that. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you want to go see?
Yeah, I guess we can go and just check in real quick before you go to the play.
She nods. Bia is already like halfway up those stairs.
I think they go upstairs.
Before you hear the girl's footsteps, you just hear Bia scratching at the door.
I think that he's pacing around his room. Like, you know, when you have too many thoughts in your brain, it's like you keep exiting out of a task one after another, rapid fire, like you don't know which one to pick.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing right now. He's going through things that he has to do, that he knows that he should do. All the while, this little buzz in the back of his head is there. The energy remnant from the message that he can respond if he wants to. He's waiting for it to fade so he can talk, so he can do something. But it's lingering a lot longer than it should. And I think that he resolutes to go to his backpack and starts fishing out his project that he was working on, but now with like a renewed urgency.
Laura will knock again after Bia kind of scratches on the door.
He doesn't answer.
Véres, it's us.
You hear things rustling around, the sound of books hitting wood, and then pen scratching.
I think Laura looks at Ivy and tries the door. Is it locked?
Véres, we just want to make sure you're okay.
The door is unlocked when you try it. He forgot to lock it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think when she sees the door handle turn fully, her eyes grow wide.
She like opens it enough to like kind of poke her head in the door.
He's at his desk, writing like a madman in his book. Like his eyes are like scanning through the page at rapid fire, trying to figure something out. That gem is laying there on the table. His backpack, which usually is sitting on a chair, like his room usually in pristine condition, all the contents have been dumped on the floor, and he's not bothered to try to straighten up himself from earlier.
Hey, do you need help with something?
He shakes his head.
She looks at Ivy, I think, kind of questioningly.
She sort of shrugs.
I think after a few more moments, he feels the last tingle of that arcing energy in the back of his brain fade. He waits a few more beats and he looks at them and he shakes his head. No, I'm all right.
Insight check.
Yeah.
10.
22.
I'm gonna make a deception check. It's also a 22.
Ooh.
Rollies?
Yes. This is a straight up and down, right?
Yeah.
11.
Oh, a 10.
Oh.
Wow. Always right on the cusp with Ivy there. So Ivy, for a moment, you believe him. For a moment. And then there's something in his expression, in his eyes, in the way that he looks like he doesn't want to be here right now, that tells you that he's lying. I will let you make an Arcana check.
My Arcana's not the greatest, but let's fucking go. Yeah, 11.
You don't know exactly, but you know that there are spells where sometimes you have to wait for the duration to wear off. You're wondering if maybe he was waiting for that. Because the chill that he got, the way he was shaking that off, the way he wasn't answering when usually he would answer because it's rude not to. Do you think maybe he was waiting for something to end or to go away?
I think she just sort of nods at Elara.
I think that when you stare at him a little bit longer, not really sure how to react, he puts his pen down and straightens up and turns to look at you both. I apologize. I just need a moment. I'll be all right.
Ivy looks at him.
Make a deception.
That's a 13. Lucky 13.
Hey, I got a 15 on my insight.
I got a 14.
No. 13, 14, 15.
Hey.
So Elara knows that he's not okay.
Wow.
Ivy slowly nods. All right, if you're sure.
He nods.
Well, I should probably get going. I will see you both later.
Enjoy your day out.
She nods, and giving y'all one last look. She's gonna walk out the door.
I think Elara will goes out with Ivy.
He lets Bia come in if she wants to.
Is Ivy taking Bia to the play?
No, Ivy's leaving Bia with Véres without saying anything. Bia's already curled up on the bed anyways.
Véres will get up and go to the door and wait for y'all to leave and then shut it and lets Bia stay. I think that when they leave and he shuts the door, he just kind of rests his head against it and lets out a sigh, just very quietly, and just like gently thuds his head against it just once.
I think as they're walking back towards Ivy's room, Elara goes, well, have fun at your play. Don't let this ruin your day. I don't think that Véres is okay, but I think that maybe they're not wanting to talk about it right now, which we didn't want to talk about stuff either. I'll keep an eye on him.
She nods.
And Bia. Bia will keep an eye on him, and I will keep an eye on Bia. I'll keep an eye on everybody. I will hold this down.
You and Norman will be great.
Yes. Have fun.
She nods.
I hope it's everything you want in a play or whatever. I still don't understand why you're even going, but
She goes into her room, and before she closes the door, she shrugs and closes the door. All cryptic like.
Fucking Faye.
Elara goes to her room.
Well, we're gonna follow Ivy now as she goes out on her own in the town of Ozrin. What are you doing to prepare, Ivy? What you wearing?
Ivy's wearing just like a flowy black summer dress. The straps are like thin straps that come up, tie on her shoulders in bows.
Aww.
So, you make your way out of the Timeless Tankard, head up the direction that you've gone a couple of times before. Once to go and betray everyone and go to Ozrin's Rest. And
No betrayal.
Another time to head towards the Science Guilds.
Fond memories all around.
Fond memories all around.
One of them was.
Yeah, you make your way up the second gate up to the upper town. What you're expecting to go to is probably like an indoor theater. You're looking for a building at first. And then you see the sign saying Ozrin's Theater. And it's pointing to sort of an area where in a circle there are sort of little lantern lights set up all around. They're not lit, but you have a feeling it would be beautiful at night. From each lantern pole hangs some bushels of roses, as seems to be the continuing theme here at this town. There are people kind of milling about, and then you notice that there's stairs kind of descending into the ground, not at a drastic pace, but you realize that their theater is outdoors. It's an amphitheater. People are already kind of taking their seats, and there's some folks going up and down the stairs, selling treats and drinks. There is somebody at the front area where there is a gate, collecting and selling tickets.
She hands over her ticket.
I subtracted 2 gold from your money for this ticket. It's expensive.
It is expensive, actually.
The theater is expensive. They rip the top off and they hand back your ticket and hope that you enjoy the performance. As you pass through, you realize that there is also kind of like a board on the inside listing other performances that are coming up. Just flyers hanging up. And you make your way to your seats, which I believe are front row, are they not?
For 2 gold, they better be.
Yeah, they're front middle, baby. She'll see the actors sweat.
Hell yeah.
And you notice that you're sitting next to some very well-to-do looking people.
She ignores them, other than a polite nod.
Someone comes down and serves you concessions that are included in your 2 gold ticket. It's a glass of wine and a little charcuterie board.
Aww. Ivy. So I think after some time of you kind of sitting there silently, you see some kind of people last minute moving around on stage, getting things ready. And you see a woman come out center stage. She's dressed in like a nice, kind of like lacy dress. And she has dark bronze skin and her hair up in like a tight bun. And she smiles at the crowd and kind of clasps her hands together. And she just goes, projecting her voice. And I think you figure out very quickly that there's like kind of magical cantrippy ways that everyone is going to be enhancing their voices for this. No, she doesn't. She's just like, ooh, this lady talks really loud. She was made for the theater. And she clasps her hands together and she just goes, welcome everyone to our final performance of A Witch in the Woods. And she bows. Everyone claps. And she exits the stage. The play opens on a human woman, long brown hair, fair skin and eyes, sobbing alone on her bed, as she has been forced to marry a man she does not love. The crowd will watch as a halfling appears, wearing wings and painted very, very pale, half naked, just wearing just like a wrap around his hips, enters through her window and perches on the wooden post of her bed.
Fair maiden, what ails you?
The woman startles, wiping tears from her eyes.
Perhaps the gods are on my side.
And Ivy, as she says that, you hear the crowd kind of like murmur, like little like words of disapproval.
She looks around.
Mm-hmm.
Not the gods, fair one. Something more powerful has called me to aid you.
Have you come to grant me my desires then?
Not I, but a humble servant to my queen. I shall take you to her, and she will aid you.
The maiden hesitates, but the halfling, who Ivy, I think you kind of realize by now is meant to depict a fairy, takes her hand. Oh, make an insight check. Make an insight check.
Yeah, unfortunately I do. That's a nat 20.
Yeah. You're like, that's not what they look like where I'm from, but I guess I can see it, you know? Like,
I think what happens is she's watching and then all of a sudden she like squints and like moves her head forward a little bit.
like if you blur your vision a little bit,
Yeah.
it resembles a fairy. But this fairy takes her hand and you see some kind of like lighting flicks as glowing sparkles fall around the woman and the crowd gasps.
Come, child. Time is not on your side.
She nods and the lights fade. Moments later, they do like a quick change, you know, a quick set change. We open on a forest. They have been traveling for hours. She is tired and confused.
My savior, is it very much further? I feel my feet ache from all this walking.
The creature giggles wickedly.
Ivy starts to laugh and then quickly like covers
Yeah,
it.
no one is laughing. Like nobody is laughing. People are watching wide-eyed. Light falls upon his form and the crowd gasps again. The audience sees his wings have transformed into broken, withered things. Horns have sprouted from his head and fang teeth protrude from his lips. But the woman doesn't seem to notice this as the creature has glamoured himself.
I was like you once, fair maiden. Afraid and alone. Mortal.
Lightning cracks in the sky and the creature pulls her on until they reach a clearing and find a woman stands there towering above them. Only her profile is visible to the crowd. The creature lets go of the woman and runs, falling at the being's feet, and begins kissing them.
Oh, my sweet queen!
Ivy's like sitting there a little bit hunched over on herself. She's got her left hand holding her right shoulder, and her right hand is like over her face. And she's just sort of squinting at what's going on.
Oh, my sweet queen, look at the gift I brought to you. Another innocent.
The being is wearing a crown of gold. Her skin is pale like snow, and her makeup is painted to make her features seem very sharp and harsh. Her gown is long, and she wears many jewels on her fingers and neck. Will you kneel at my feet, sweet child? This magnificent being speaks softly like a song, her voice luring the woman closer. Will you give me your name, sweet child, so that I might aid you? The woman falls to her knees beside the creature, and whispers erupt from offstage.
No, never give them your name.
Turn back.
Run.
The being turns her face to the crowd, and you see makeup on the other side of her face that likens her to an old crone with wrinkled skin and a wart on her cheek and bedraggled hair. Hush those voices, child. There is nothing to fear. Look upon me. Give me your name, and I shall give you all that you desire. The woman looks up to her.
Promise?
A name, and then your wish shall be fulfilled.
Amelia.
And your wish?
I don't want to marry David. I wish he found me undesirable, so that I am free to marry who I choose.
The being inclines her head, and magical lights flicker. Worthy wish, my dear. Follow your heart. She puts her hand out, and the woman takes it and kisses her ring. Thunder rumbles in the sky above, and you watch this beautiful being dressed almost like a queen. Her voice, once soft and sweet, begins to change. Foolish mortals, it's almost too easy. And she turns, revealing the other side of her face to the crowd, who will now see an old woman gnarled and hunched with yellow and blackened teeth and black eyes. The woman screams and the winged creature cackles as the queen puts her now taloned hands out to grasp the woman's head. And lights flare and all goes quiet. When the lights come back on, the woman, once a beautiful fair maiden, has transformed into a beast, a creature with sallow sunken skin and matted hair. Your wish is granted. David will desire you no more. The woman looks at her hands and body, and she begins to sob. The lights fade, signaling an intermission. And everyone stands up and claps. So I think as we go to intermission, we're going to fade away from the play, and we're going to fade away from Ivy, and we're going to go back to the inn, and we're going to zoom in on Elara, because in anticipation of talking to Ember, she's cleaned up her room to the best of her ability, gotten rid of the noxious acid smell, and set up a bit of a mock laboratory, because I think she wants to make a good impression on Ember.
Aww.
Yeah. Just kind of make him think more highly of the sciences and the magic stuff that she's going to probably talk about. I think that she goes downstairs at around maybe 2 p.m., maybe late lunchtime. She's going to order. I think she who's there? Is it Zath or is it Nim at the bar?
Either way.
So I think she goes up to Zath at the bar and she just goes, hey, Zath.
Hello, Elara.
What does Véres usually eat for lunch? Healthy stuff, salad and fruit? I know fruit. Do they have a most ordered item?
Just generally a tavern house sandwich.
Okay, can I have one of those, please? And can you put some fresh fruit on the side? Because whenever he brings me pancakes, he always brings me fresh fruit, and I don't know if it's because he thinks that I like it or if it's because he likes it. So
because you don't eat healthy.
What if I said I've never seen Véres eat a singular fruit in my life? That'd be really funny. No. He nods and smiles, and he goes and makes a sandwich super quick. It's a very thick sandwich. There's a lot of meat there. There's a bowl of fresh fruit, and one of those little plastic skewers that goes in the sandwich is a little plastic sword.
Oh,
Cute.
I love that. That's so cute. And can I some water, please, maybe?
Sure. Just one?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and grabs a mug of water
Thank you.
that has a handle so that she can carry everything.
Nice. Does she see Ember anywhere?
Ember is sitting at the bar reading.
Okay. Hey, Ember.
Oh, hey.
I know you said you wanted to talk to me a few days ago, and I kind of didn't respond since then. I am actually going to be working on a really cool project in about 30 minutes. So if you want, you can meet me in my room, and I can show you some cool mechanized things.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Good. I'll see you in a few.
See you in a bit.
All right. She's going to go up to Véres' room. She knocks on the door. No, she like kicks the door with her feet because she's got both of her hands full.
He comes over and opens the door. A crack, and then opens it all the way when he sees it's her.
Hi.
Hello.
It's lunchtime.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Did you eat lunch?
Not yet. Did you?
How does he look?
Insight check.
Okay.
Or do you mean emotionally or physically?
Insighty.
Oh, insighty.
Well, 6.
Great.
Cool.
Normal.
She like holds up the plate and the mug.
Oh, these are for me?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And he takes them from her and brings them to the table.
She comes in and she closes the door, and she just like stands there awkwardly.
It's cleaned up. The bag is no longer spilled all over the ground.
Cool.
It's back in its regular place. Notes are everywhere on that desk, though. And there's a carving set.
Can I like try to look at them?
Yeah. Yeah, make a perception check. And do you want to do it sneakily?
No, I don't think she would do it sneakily.
Okay. Yeah, make a perception
I
check.
think she's too obvious. 18.
Yeah, so you see a bunch of scribbled, like frantically scribbled notes. A lot of arcane equations, and the runes in said equations are about like misdirection and concealment.
Is her room book there?
Her rune book is there. You also see a couple of runes of like anti-divination magic and some other stuff like that.
She doesn't say anything. She just stands there.
And he looks at her. Have you eaten yet? Or slept?
No and no. But I will eat, and then I'll sleep at some point.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. You just looked not so great before, and I figured that if you were working on something, you probably didn't eat lunch, so I just thought I would bring it. And she like gestures to it. You can eat it now. It's not. I didn't poison it or anything.
He makes a little face at you. You know, I wasn't considering that, but now.
Oh well.
Should I be worried?
No, but you should eat because I think that if I leave and then you're just gonna go back to working on your project, then you're probably not gonna eat, and then it's gonna go bad. Or Bia will eat it, and you watch. I think it's Bia was probably inching closer to the sandwich.
He laughs and picks Bia up and sets her on the bed again. He nods and he'll, all right. And he starts munching on some fruit. Says, something I can help you with?
No. I just wanted to bring you lunch, and I'm gonna go talk to Ember in a few.
Oh, but the advice?
Yep, I decided that I'm going to give him positive advice.
I'm sure that he will appreciate whatever you tell him.
She nods.
And thank you for lunch. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think when he's done eating, she will take the plate.
Oh, so she was making sure he actually ate.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Okay.
Really awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
I think she will take the plate to leave him to whatever he's going to do. And she opens the door and she just goes, come on, Bia. I'm sure Willow has some bacon in her pocket for you.
Yeah, Bia follows.
She will leave Véres to his work. She will bring the plate downstairs, and then she will go and wait for Ember in her room.
Amazing. Ember kind of just like knocks gently on her door before pushing it open.
When the door opens, the table that was brought up at the beginning of their stay here is kind of cleared off, and there is an empty chest on the floor, the big chest that fell out of her pocket when everyone first met her. Laying on the table
is a body.
Is a body. There is an exoskeleton of what looks like a dog. There is some like carving tools. There are some notes that have like runes, arcane equation written on them. One of the pearls she found in the lake is also there. And she's got like her goggles down, you know, she's trying to look like very scientific. And she goes, welcome to my laboratory, Ember.
Thank you. And he walks in and just like gently shuts, not all the way, just shuts the door a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And Norman is just like chilling out by the windowsill. Okay, so I'm not really very good at like talks or advice or big speeches or anything like that. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And if you have any questions at any time, just interrupt me, because sometimes when I start talking, I just kind of keep talking and I don't really think to stop to let people ask questions, because I have so many thoughts in my head that I'm just like, oh, I'll just let them keep going until I stop having thoughts. But I have a lot of thoughts. Just takes a deep breath.
Okay.
Okay. You should follow your heart. And if your heart tells you that you want to do science and magic, then I think that you should do it. You have two really, really awesome parents. I spoke to them, by the way, and I made sure that it was okay to talk to you. And they're really supportive of, I think, anything, honestly, that you might want to do.
Yeah, mom and dad are pretty great.
Yeah. So Ivy and Véres kind of helped me a little bit, because I was a little nervous about what to say, because I'm sure you know that a lot of scientists don't really like mixing magic in with the science.
He nods.
I won't lie, it can make for a really difficult time. My time has been very difficult, but I keep doing it, you know, because it's what I really, really like to do, you know? And it's really cool. It's way cooler than just doing science or just doing magic. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why everyone is really so up in arms about it.
It really does seem like it. There's so many more options
There are.
with magic and science.
It's kind of like opens doors that you really can't get to if you're not mixing the two.
Well, yeah, I mean, science isn't far enough along, really, to make up for the lack of magic. So I get that.
I think that if you want to do it, then you should do it. And as you kind of get older and you get into the age where you can kind of get into a guild, you can reach out to me, and I can maybe put you in touch with some people who are a little bit more lenient with it. It's not going to be easy, and people aren't going to be nice. But if you find that it's really what you want to do, then I think you'll find people who will be accepting of it, and it'll all work out somehow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions? Like specific ones, or?
Why did you get into it?
I think she like thinks about it, because I don't think that she even thought that he would even ask that.
Want to know?
Yeah. I don't know, really. I think that it just kind of happened. If I'm being honest, I found picking one or the other very limiting. When I hit a wall in my research with something, I kind of was like, well, maybe magic can solve this. And spoiler alert, most of the time it can.
Magic is pretty awesome like that.
Yeah. And once I started, I just kind of couldn't. It just spiraled into a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because doors keep opening, and there's more that you can figure out how to do.
What do you think is the hardest part?
Well, from a research perspective, it's hard to find information on magic sometimes, because people don't want you to mix it, and so there's not a lot of what I do is stuff that I guess people haven't really done before. So you're probably would be a trailblazer in a sense, which can be a little dangerous sometimes. So definitely start small, and get yourself a good pair of goggles. And she like taps hers. But I guess really the hardest part is it can be isolating sometimes, because people won't really be interested in what you're doing because it's so different, and it's against the rules, you know? But having two parents who support you is a really, really good start.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think I should start if I want to do that?
Well, probably the Royal Spot Lab if you're interested in mechanized things, for sure. You may have an in there. She like does like a little head.
I think he smiles.
If I don't get kicked out, which remains to be seen, and then I would be a bad reference. But definitely contact me before you name drop me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're interested in?
I don't know if I know yet what exactly I want to do with it, but I'd like to see all applications of it until I decide.
She kind of smiles. That's okay. People will tell you that you have to pick, but I still haven't. So I guess you really don't if you really don't want to.
Oh, I hope not, because I really there's so many different things that I think would be really cool. What are the labs like?
She kind of shrugs. Lots of work, lots of science, lots of very, very focused people. Lots of classes, lots of learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun though. It's not all school. I guess it's not much different than magic school, you know? Or regular other schools.
Okay. Any tools I should get?
Well, I guess it depends what you're interested in.
I have an idea for some inventions for adventurers specifically. I want to make items for people who don't necessarily have access to magic.
That sounds really interesting.
Like a shield to block magic instead of counterspell or things like that. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of what I do, you know? I just kind of recreate spells with science and a little bit of magic. It sounds like you should look into rune carving, for sure.
You realize now that he brought in a little notebook and he's taking notes.
Speaking of rune carving, do you want to see a project?
I would love to.
So I think that she'll probably spend some time kind of going over carving runes, and she's going to show Ember the pearl that has very small runes carved into it. All of the runes are done, and she's done them kind of very meticulously and spent a lot of time making sure that everything was perfect. So one of the things that I do is I kind of make arcane batteries for, in this case, mechanized creatures, like Norman.
Okay.
Except this one is going to look a little bit more real than Norman. But I'm going to warn you, she was my first ever try at this, and I didn't get it 100% right. And so she's going to look a little bit so much like a dog that it makes you uncomfortable. But just remember that it's okay. She goes, do you mind like setting the exoskeleton so that it stands on its feet? You can lock in the little mechanisms so that it stands.
Oh yeah. And he comes over and starts doing it as you show him.
Cool. In the, like where the shoulder blades, I think, of a dog would be, there is a little slot and it's circular, and Ember can tell just by looking at it that the pearl will kind of sit perfectly in there. Do you see in there, it also has runes carved?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put this pearl in the slot, and once they all connect, kind of like a battery, it's going to come to life. And she smiles.
Oh, that's cool. Like an actual dog?
Like an actual dog.
He's so excited.
Are you ready?
Ready.
So she very gently puts the pearl inside of the slot, and immediately you watch as the runes kind of connect, they flash. You see this orange flash go over the gem, and then you watch it kind of slowly spread out over the exoskeleton of this creature. And as the orange color passes, it leaves in its wake like medium length white fur. And you watch the fur cover the entire thing. You watch little black eyes and pointy ears and like a tail that kind of curves up. And standing in front of Ember and Elara is a like medium-sized dog that looks kind of like an American Eskimo for like our references.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of shakes like a dog would, and kind of like cocks its head to the side, blinks a little uncannily.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, Ember's gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw, but he can make it at advantage because Elara warned him.
Okay. Oh, it's 15 on the die.
Nice. So I think that for a moment he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know. But then like he remembers what Elara says, and Elara reaches out and just like kind of scruffs the top of her head. I think Ember will be like, "Okay, cool. Like it's a little weird, but it really looks like a dog.
Yeah.
It looks so much like a dog that it makes you feel a little bit like uncomfortable.
Like it's weird that it came out from a skeleton and a pearl.
Mm-hmm.
First of all.
Fair.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that part.
It's like you breathe life into it. It looks so real.
She nods. Thank you. This is Pearl.
Cool. Pearl.
Mhm.
That's so fitting. So can I skirt her?
Of course, yeah.
Gives her some skirches.
Yeah.
It's like she feels just like a real dog.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what science and magic can do when you mix them together.
Mm-hmm.
People will tell you that you shouldn't, and people might make you feel bad for it. But if you're creating stuff and you're helping people and you know that you're doing the right thing, then you shouldn't listen to what they say. But you should listen to your parents, because they know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. He just smiles. And he's like playing with Pearl, like her little ears and stuff. You're amazing. I can't believe that you made this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for showing me and telling me about it. Oh, now I really want to do it. This is so cool.
She smiles.
He's just nerding out.
I think they'll spend time, if he wants to, talking about other stuff or going over other things. And
Oh, absolutely. He's gonna fry her brain until she is brain dead.
amazing.
They can sit there and geek out together.
Yay.
And I think that will circle back to Ivy.
Yes. Okay. So as we zoom away from Elara and Ember and kind of pan back into Ivy, who is sitting there as the curtain falls, signaling intermission, I think that you start to realize that this is indeed a play about not making deals with fey creatures. Make an insight check.
It's not great, fellas. 8.
You don't know who this witch in the woods is supposed to be depicting.
You hear in the crowd, though, someone go, "Did you see the depiction of Titania, though? I know, it was so interesting."
Ivy turns. Is the person who said that like near her?
Yeah, there's two people, kind of like younger ladies, walking up the stairs to go somewhere for intermission.
I think she hears that. She looks back and then looks to the front and she's like, "What?"
I think they stop and they look at you, Ivy. Yeah, that was a story that the queen was Titania.
She looks so confused. That looks nothing like her.
The other one looks at you kind of questioningly.
I think it looked pretty much like her at least how they describe her in the fairy tales.
There are some other books that describe her looking differently. Maybe you've read one of those. But this is the main depiction.
Possibly. And then she turns away. She doesn't want to entertain this anymore.
You hear the fading subject of as they're kind of like, okay, and they like head up the stairs. And she's like, then again, I have heard that maybe like fairies can use like glamour magic, like they were showing for the little imp dude. Pixie, whatever they were. So maybe like Titania takes on the form that she thinks you like best or something.
Perhaps. The other person is like nodding, really thinking about it.
Ivy rolls her eyes.
They go, I heard they're only putting this play on again because they want to discourage people from wandering out in the woods. There's been a lot of monsters apparently roaming around after all that went down in Grimford.
Did you hear about the creature who came through the portal in Vitrum?
Yes, but I heard just yesterday that they said that it was nothing.
I think that they're lying, personally. I don't think that there couldn't have been that much fuss about it and then it not be real.
They kind of wave their hand and dismissively almost. We're far enough away from Vitrum. I wouldn't worry about it regardless.
That's true.
As these two gossiping people walk away, Ivy, you are still sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that the majority of the people, especially in like the first row, have gotten up. And there seems to be like a private area for like the first 5 rows where they are all going to kind of get drinks, chit chat, use the restroom. There's a pretty like upscale looking concession type stand. You assume that's where your charcuterie board came from. And then everybody else in like the rows 5 and up are going to like all the way kind of up the stairs to like another concession stand. But you are left pretty much sitting there by yourself. There's a couple of people kind of smattered here and there that didn't get out of their seats either. How you feeling? What are you doing? What are you thinking?
I think she's very confused. I think she's also thinking about what they were talking about, the portal in Vitrum. And so she's going to turn to the nearest person who's sitting next to her. And she's going to go, excuse me, can I ask you a quick question?
About 4 seats away from you, sitting most center. You were like kind of 4 seats from off center.
Mm-hmm.
You see a human man with shoulder length, pin straight hair, brown eyes, and kind of very sharp features for a human Ivy, as you look at him, he almost looks elven, but you don't see the telltale, very large, pointed elven ears, or even the smaller ears that Elara has for like half-elves.
Variant.
As you ask him, he kind of turns to you, stands up, and you see he stands at about 5'10". He's very slim, and he's wearing a very expensive, fine gray suit. And he walks over closer to you.
Oh.
And stands with his back to the railing that kind of cordons off the first row from like the stage, you know? There's a good 6 feet between the railing and where the seats are, making it kind of easily accessible for people to make their way through. And he comes over and he looks at you. And as he gets closer, you realize there is not a hair out of place on this man's head. There is not he looks very, very kind of proper and well put together. He kind of looks you over and he goes, "Of course you may."
She smiles charmingly and she goes, I just overheard 2 people talking about what happened in Vitram, and I haven't heard anything about it. Do you happen to know?
Do you not read the newspapers?
She coyly smiles and shrugs a bit. Not particularly. I find some of the things a little dull. Really playing into that person who has so much money she doesn't need to know what's going on in the world because it doesn't affect her regardless.
Fair. He kind of nods and he goes, "It must be nice. Unfortunately, I must keep up with the times. I suggest you take a look at one of the most recent newspapers. You might find it interesting." He looks back towards the stage, and then he looks back at you and he goes, "It is quite a shame. The play was much better when Dame Villasora played Titania."
Was it just her acting prowess, or did they change things? Because this is the first time I've seen it.
Oh no, she was quite the queen. She played the witch in the woods very well.
She smiles. She has no idea where to go from this. She wants one thing out of this man, and he is now talking about the play.
He doesn't answer anything. I don't like him. Who's the Fae now, bitch?
He is staring at you with a tight, almost forced smile, not deterred by the awkward silence between the two of you.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell. Her eyes flit to the curtain and then back to him, and she smiles. Well, it's definitely very interesting so far.
There have been a great many interesting things happening in Ozrin lately. And he looks back, and Ivy, I think with your passive perception, you notice a couple of things. As he looks back and your gaze follows where he looks, you see that there are 2 people standing kind of at the entrance to get onto this little walkway that leads to the first row seating. And it's very clear that they seem to be not town guards, but probably bodyguards for, you're assuming, this person that you're talking to, because he is, they have eyes on him.
Mm-hmm.
And you also notice, standing next to one of them, you notice the guard that you saw when you were first coming in to Ozrin. He was a dwarven man with red hair and a long red beard. And you recall that when you gave your name at the gate, he kind of eyed you.
Okay.
You also notice that there seem to be some people who are standing around almost as if they want to push past the guards. A couple of them are looking over at the 2 of you, and you don't recognize them as anybody. As much pay attention as you paid, they don't seem to be as well dressed as the people who were sitting in the front row. And almost as you kind of process that information, the man standing in front of you goes, "Vanya, is it not?
She nods, smile still on her face.
Came to Ozrin by way of Grimford? It is a shame what happened there."
Deception check.
It's a dirty 20.
Nice.
She nods. You know my name. May I know yours?
His smile kind of tightens. "How absolutely rude of me. I know all about you, yet you know nothing of me. Councilman Yolan Sophendaris.
Fucking knew it.
Run, bitch, run!
Head of Domestic Affairs, temporary head of Arcane Affairs." And as he says that, you watch him pick a piece of lint off his jacket. And when he looks down and he sees this piece of lint on him, you watch for a second the disgust that crosses this man's face as he kind of flicks it away. And he kind of straightens and puts his hand out to shake your hand.
She shakes his hand firmly.
And he inclines his head.
She stands to shake his hand.
"I must confess, I knew you would be here today.
Well, at this point, I have gathered that. Is there a reason that you felt like going on a secret date with me?
Darling, if I was asking you out on a date, you would know it. As this conversation's going on, you notice that some of the people that were standing by the guards, their voices seem to be a little bit raised. Yolan has not turned around or even inclined his head towards anything that's happening there. And they're speaking in hushed enough tones that you can't hear them, but you can tell there's some sort of like urgency going on. My interests lie more with your knowledge of what happened in Grimford. There is going to be a meeting of some people at the Baron's home tomorrow evening, and you should count yourself very lucky that I have deigned to invite you personally. And he reaches into the inside of his jacket and he takes out a scroll and it has a seal on it and he hands it to you.
She takes it.
You have but one chance to be there of your own accord, and you will bring your 2 friends with you.
She looks down at the scroll in her hand and then looks up at him. Sounds good. We will be there.
Make a deception check.
18.
18 total?
Yeah, 18 total.
Oh. He smiles and he clicks his tongue. I was going to give you a chance. And he puts his hand up and he kind of like does like a come here motion, like behind him without looking. And you watch as 2 of the guards start to kind of walk towards you.
Run, Ivy, run.
Yeah. How far can I get with 30 feet?
So you kind of glance around really quick. You look behind you and you see people now are starting to kind of come back into the seats. The intermission is kind of ending. Your area is still fairly open because people are coming from where they're coming from. They're not in your row yet. Where Yolan is standing and where the 2 guards are standing, there are more people who are coming through to sit, as well as the little crowd of people that were kind of talking to the guards. Behind you, it looks like you have a pretty clear exit. And then you also have an option to kind of, like if you were going to just go straight up over the seats. Make a quick perception check for me.
16 plus 6. That's 22.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see 2 more guards dressed in the same garb that the ones that are coming towards you are wearing, coming the opposite way, still down the aisle and then making to kind of turn into your aisle.
Mm-hmm.
In the aisle past them, you see Carrick coming towards you, and from 2 aisles behind you, you see Valda kind of cutting through an aisle, and you watch her step over one of the chairs, so now she's 1 row closer to you, but still 1 row away, coming towards you and Yolan. What would you like to do?
Can I get to the exit in 30 feet?
No.
How close can I get to the exit?
Probably like 120 feet. You have like a row and then an aisle and then a row to get you like down.
Can I get onto the stage with 30 feet?
Yeah, I would say so.
Ivy quickly puts the invitation in her pocket and then takes a step and disappears. I need Yolan Sophendaris to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm obsessed with this. Dirty 20.
Yeah, he passes.
Okay. So he's not afraid.
But Ivy face steps onto the stage and then disappears behind the curtain and dashes away.
So you're going to use an action to face step, and then you're going to use...
It's a bonus action.
So you're going to use 60 feet to dash away.
Yep.
Are you dashing behind stage?
I am looking for the closest exit because there has to be an exit that leads directly out of where the performance area is per fire hazard safety rules.
And bold of you to assume Ozrin has fire hazard safety rules.
Ivy has been to a play before.
Yeah.
So there should be an exit that goes directly onto like a side street or something that should be illuminated an exit.
There's a tunnel actually that goes underneath into the amphitheater wall, and then it'll reopen out onto a pathway. It's typically a locked door.
So you face step. You leave just like this. Do you leave this blue mist behind? Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yolan Sophendaris knows he should be afraid, but his will.
The audience will see Yolan's eyes go wide in disbelief, I think, as Ivy leaves nothing but a trail of blue mist behind, face steps behind a curtain, runs 60 feet into the thick of the backstage where people are very frantically getting ready for the curtain call. The person who played Titania almost like reaches out to like grab you to stop you, and then is like, I don't really care enough about this. You hear her just like call for like security, just assuming that it's just like a weird fan trying to get through. You are able to see the exit. We're not going to go into initiative. I'm just going to kind of describe some things that happen that would kind of be on everybody else's turn.
Okay.
As Yolan goes to kind of send the guards off after you, Valda arrives essentially in front of him, and she has a fantasy microphone, essentially, like a reporter would. She just kind of like throws it up in his face to the point that the guards will hesitate to go after you, Ivy, because she has gotten so close up in his space as she yells very loudly, kind of projecting her voice as well. Councilman Sophendaris, what can you tell us about the rumors that there was a portal down in the ruins of Lothan? What did you find? Why won't you tell anyone what's going on? He begins to kind of go into that council person not answering questions type explanation.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that you yank this door open, you start running down the tunnel. Are you dashing?
Yeah, running as fast as my little legs can carry me.
So you run 60 feet and you hear, as you get 60 feet away, footsteps banging down the stairs, and you hear the sound of voices calling out. What do you do?
Continue to run.
Okay. So you run another 60 feet. Do you look back?
Briefly.
You can see that there's 2 guards that are 60 feet behind you.
Yeah, she's still running.
Okay. So you run another 60 feet.
So Ivy, you come out into a shaded area where you realize you are standing underneath one of the overpasses beside that usually go over like a waterway.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 small pathways on either side of this waterway with a gate in front of it. If you follow the path, it'll take you to a staircase that'll take you out to a main road, and then you can just keep running towards the inn.
Do I go out of a door, or is it an open doorway?
You go out of a door. The door is open though because it's being used today.
Can I close the door, and then I want to use my frostbite to freeze the door handle.
Oh, I love that. I don't even think you have to really roll for it, right?
She's like closing the door, and as she does, on both sides of the door, she freezes the handle shut.
Love it.
And then runs 30 feet, because that was an action.
Fair. Are you just running? Are you trying to blend in? Are you...
At this point, I'm just trying to get away.
Okay.
Just doing all this in heels.
The 2 guards get to the door, and you hear from 30 feet away, like a, an elbow, not an elbow, like a shoulder, like they're trying to shoulder open the door.
Yeah.
Now it's technically your turn again, so you're going to run another 60 feet. Are you going to try to hide? Are you going to, okay.
I'm going to run another 60 feet.
I got a 15 on the die for one of them to break the door open. What do you think?
What's your spell save DC?
14.
You get 30 feet away, and you hear the ice crack, and one of the guards essentially comes flying out of the door from the momentum. And I'm going to have them make a perception check. You're only 30 feet away. One of them looks around real quick, puts eyes on you. It's your turn. What do you do?
What does she see around?
Make a perception check.
16.
Ivy, you kind of recognize this area. It's not very far from the amphitheater. Right now, where you are is a lower elevation. It's a little path beside a waterway. Over top, people are walking on that overpass looking down into where you are. And then up further, beside the overpass, is like the regular road level. And you can see some people have stopped to look over the edge. And you hear the commotion of the crowd up there. Where you are right now, there's stairs dead ahead of you to go up to the main level of the road. And then also the waterway, the path beside the waterway continues beside the stairs to go down further into the town. That's all. That's your options right there.
So there's nowhere I can duck in that, like, be at where I won't be seen, right?
If you get up to the main road, you know that there's buildings you can eventually duck behind, but you have to get there first.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So that was the start of your turn. So you use 30 feet of your movement to run up the stairs. If you want to try to stealth into an alleyway as your action, you can do that.
Yeah, I want to do that.
All right, so roll me stealth.
8. At some point, she's just going to say fuck it and turn into a mouse.
That's totally fine. So what happens is you run up, you kind of look around wildly, you see a little alleyway, you go to slip into it. As you're slipping into it, the 2 guards are coming up the stairs. Wow. What is your roll for stealth?
8.
They do not see you. I rolled a 3 and a 6 on the die.
Yes!
Incredible.
So they do not see you, and you don't know if other people saw you, but you do know that you feel confident that those guards did not see you slip into this alleyway. It is your turn again. What would you like to do? And you hear them asking people essentially where you went and giving a physical description.
I'm going to turn into a mouse. So instead of the navy mist that generally encompasses her when she turns into the wolf, it's a gold mist this time. And same effect, though, it does encircle her, and she, instead of turning into a wolf, she turns into a little mouse.
Made of bone or regular?
Made of bone.
Nice.
Yep.
A little bone mouse. I'm going to have them roll a perception check at disadvantage because you're a bone mouse now. You see one of them run completely off in a different direction and stop and look. And you see another one stop in the alleyway, look down the alleyway, make another stealth check for me.
That was an 18.
Nice.
You hear the footsteps running, right? Because people are walking. It's kind of got that calm energy. It even kind of has gotten a little bit hushed now as these guards are yelling, where is this person? So you hear the pounding of the feet before they stop in the alleyway. And you literally just slip behind like a little crate that's there. So as to not drag out this chase scene, because I do not know how they're going to find a little bone mouse at this point, I will say that you successfully scurry your way back to the inn.
I think as she's running, she finds a scrap of paper on the ground and uses that as like an extra cover as she runs.
Amazing. You scurry around a little bit. You go about another 30 feet and you see someone looks like they've dropped like a pamphlet or something. And you are able to kind of scurry underneath it. And you just are like a little piece of paper blowing in the wind, essentially, all the way back to the inn. You make it back to the Timeless Tankard. A couple of people kind of going, oh, as like they see this little paper moving kind of weirdly, but no one is brave enough to try to see what's underneath it. How are you going in? What are you doing? Are you mousing your way all the way up? Are you...
Yeah.
You still have the paper on you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are this
as best as I can.
Little piece of paper moving throughout the inn, and
Nim catches it and doesn't say a word.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say I rolled a natural 20 for someone's perception, so who sees it? I don't know. Is it a patron? Is it one of the kids? Okay.
It's Nim.
No, I take it back. It's one of the kids.
Okay.
That's even funnier, actually. Which one?
It's Willow. Aww. The little girl.
Little Willow.
She was sitting on the ground playing with Bia's paws and sees a brochure of some kind running right by her. She looks very confused and she's like, now what is that? And she reaches forward and scoops it up. No fear.
And she will read, it's an old news pamphlet that reported on the creature that escaped from the portal in Vitrum.
Oh, she's like, oh, a spooky story.
And she takes the brochure and tucks it in her and like puts it in her pocket and then realizes she's holding something else. And she looks down at it and she makes a face.
Bia is like crawling up her leg.
She's like, is it dead?
She moves. She moves around in her hands.
Oh, that's weird. She tucks you in her pocket.
Oh boy.
She runs upstairs.
Oh boy.
Where's she
going?
She runs upstairs, she goes to the 3rd floor, runs down a hallway, and stops at a door and knocks.
Ivy's just like, I can't become big. I will kill this girl.
Oh my god.
Extremely excited. She's like, Ash, are you there?
Ash opens the door, looking a lot better than they have been this whole time. Hey, Willow.
Hey, look what I found! And she reaches in her pocket and pulls out the bones of a mouse or rat.
Ash's eyes go so wide, but also is like not entirely thrown off by Willow bringing the weirdest thing, I think, to them.
Yeah, no, this is par for the course for them.
Is it moving?
Yeah, she's moving. She's like, her tail is twitching.
It's like, it's alive somehow.
Is it real?
I don't know. I found it on the floor.
It could be one of...
With this cool brochure. And she like holds it out. It's like, it's a spooky story.
Bia is intently looking at Ivy, by the way.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have Ash make because tell me if this tracks. I think that Ash has seen Norman, so they might kind of be like, might be some weird Elara stuff, maybe?
Honestly, that makes sense to me, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I'm gonna have them make a intelligence check, maybe? Or like an insight? What do you think?
I think intelligence.
That's a 10. I think that they kind of shrug and like hesitate to touch it. And they go, Willow, I think maybe you should go ask Elara. This might be one of her inventions.
Do you think? Like Norman?
The mouse nods.
Ash points. I think it is. It definitely just nodded.
She nods again.
I think Willow holds you out at arm's length and like you facing towards her, and she like places your little bone hands.
I wonder how it all stays together.
Oh boy.
I gotta go ask her.
She runs off with you. I think she goes to try to run away, and she stops and she looks at Ash. She's like, "Thank you." She runs off.
Oh. Ash just smiles.
And then Elara, you hear,
Elara!
Come in. The door's cracked, so she knocks so hard that it just like flings open.
100%.
Okay. And Lara's just like, come in.
Her tripwire's not up, is it? Her tripwire isn't up, is it?
No, her tripwire is not up. And in fact, Willow probably saw Ember leaving Elara, like walking down the hallway, leaving Alara's room with a big smile on their face, a smile on his face probably. And he probably just does like a double take as Willow runs by, not really thinking anything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have Elara sleight of hand Pearl into her pocket because I don't think that she's ready for like everyone to see Pearl yet. Okay, 19 on the die. So yeah, so she very quickly just is like, Pearl, goes in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Willow, what's up?
Hey, I found something really cool, and Ash thinks it might be yours because it kind of reminds us of Norman.
Okay, what is it?
This little rat thing.
And she takes out a bone rat.
Oh wow, yes. How did that get out of my room?
It was really interesting because, like, she pulls out the scary story brochure and she hands it to you. She's like, "It was running with this."
Oh, and she'll take the brochure and just kind of like put it on her desk or something. Can I have her, please?
Absolutely. What's her name?
Monica.
I like it.
Thank you.
She hands you back Monica.
It's like, okay, don't run away again, Monica. Someone could have stepped on you.
Monica
yes.
waves.
She pats the little rat, and then she looks around. I think that she like stands there for a second, and then she was like gonna stay for a while, and then you see Ember pop his head back in.
Willow, Mom wants you.
Coming! And she heads out. Ember gives Elara a thumbs up and heads downstairs.
Elara locks the door and closes it.
Ivy starts squeaking immediately.
Yeah, Elara puts her down on
Frantically.
the ground and just like stares.
And you watch as the gold mist encircles her and like goes up and up and up, and Ivy's there.
What the hell's?
So we need to leave right now.
Why?
Like right now. Long story short, Yolan Sophendaris is here and wants to take us to a ball, and we need to go right now.
Okay. We should, and she starts like, I think just like putting stuff in her pockets.
Ivy runs out the door, grabs her bag, and runs over to Véres' door and just starts banging on it.
Okay, I will say that as all this is happening, with Mouse Ivy getting scooped up by Willow and Elara, and as Elara was finishing up with Ember, I think that we should check in on Véres. What have they been up to?
I think Véres is reading over the final equation that he's come to the conclusion should work. He has looked it over 20 times, it feels like, maybe more, probably, obsessively checking and rechecking his work.
Yeah, you've spent like months at this point.
Yeah, this has been months in the making, and with Elara's book, finally, he thinks he might have it, and it's just in the nick of time because he can't stay here anymore. He's got to go, so it has to work. I think that he took the equation and he made a magic circle for it. So he's on the table. What people will see is this intense and very intricate circle with that equation included in it, in his blood.
Ooh.
And in the center, he will put the gem, but he's got to carve it first.
I think that being pretty sure that you have the right string, now all you have to do is kind of like meticulously carve those runes onto this small, beautiful, already kind of magical, imbued fluorite gem. So, sleight of hand.
24.
Nice. Véres, you go slow and you take your time and you're keeping your hand as steady as you possibly can. Maybe Elara's words are ringing in your ears about how you have to be really careful and precise when carving runes, and you are being careful as best as you can be. It's not an easy task. It's a small gem. The runes are very small. Your hand starts to cramp, I think, from holding the tools so tightly, and you feel your hand start to kind of shake. And just as you're about to finish connecting the last line of the equation, you watch yourself like falter. It's not a perfect copy. Your hand is too shaky. And then suddenly, you feel a warmth brush somewhere in the back of your mind, and not like it was before. This is a calming energy. But Véres, what languages do you speak?
He speaks Common, Elvish, Orcish, Celestial, and CSL.
Okay. So somewhere in a distant echo, just at the edge of your consciousness, you're barely able to grasp or process it. It's a whisper in Celestial, and it says, "Carry on unseen, my dear Faithbreaker." You feel this familiar warmth spread from the top of your skull and down your body, and only as it reaches your trembling hand do you realize it's a hum of magic, just like you felt when you were close to the portal to the Nexus point. But this is kind of different, and it takes you a moment to recognize it because it's so strong. It's raw magical energy, and it's a power that's somehow familiar to you. You felt it before, but you can't place it, and it really doesn't matter right now. I need you to roll sleight of hand again, but add a d8 to that roll as you feel your hand begin to steady.
Okay. And a d8?
Yes.
Okay.
What'd you roll? Did you roll a natural 20?
I did.
No!
This is insane.
That's so cool.
That's a 32.
Wow. Véres, you watch. That's so high.
I know, it's insane.
Véres, you watch your hand steady and you finish the rune. And as you do, you watch, it's almost like a blindingly bright color flash across the runes, and you feel this thrum of magic as the runes activate. Like you feel it in the floorboards of your feet. And then that feeling disappears just as quickly as it arrived, leaving you feeling normal, but also somehow almost like a little bit empty now that that feeling is gone. Like the lack of that feeling is very apparent now.
Véres finishes turning that gem into an earring, wrapping it in some wire, making it look decent. For now, it just needs to work. They'll make it look pretty later. He attaches it to one of the hollow gauges he's wearing, made of metal, loops it through, lets it hang. And the second that it's on him, he feels almost like a weight is lifted, like that, the feeling of being watched, that itch in the back of your head. He feels that near constantly. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's gone. The second that he attaches it to him, it's like it all leaves at once. And he feels kind of like blanketed. Somewhere in the world, whoever was watching him immediately loses connection. Like he never existed at all. That earring blocks him from being detected by, hopefully, anyone who might be looking for him. He's now completely invisible.
Amazing. Ivy, as you are running down the hallway to knock on Véres' door, you feel for an instant that thrum of magic that you know that you're familiar with. And you literally feel the floorboards tremble underneath your feet. And Elara, in her room shoving shit into her pockets, stops and kind of looks around because she feels it too. And just as quick as it came, it's gone. What do you do?
I think she feels it for a moment and then picks up her pace in running to Véres' door and starts pounding on the door.
As she's pounding on the door, before her fist even connects to it, the door is opened and Véres is almost looks like he's about to take off in a sprint out of that door. His backpack's on his back. The room looks pristine. It's cleared of anything that he previously had running, laying out. It's like he was never there.
She sees that and goes, "All right, good, let's go."
He starts to say things 3 times, and he's like, "Yeah, all right, let's go." Takes off at a brisk pace down the hall. Not running, just walking fast. Where's Elara?
She's packing up the rest of his stuff.
All right, and he slides to Elara's door, kind of, and pushes it open. Not even knocking, pushes it open.
She's putting on her jacket.
Ready to go?
She looks like a deer in the headlights, but she shakes her head. She just put her jacket on, and you watch her just grab the salve bottles off the windowsill and throw them in her pocket. And Norman like scuttles up her arm and like disappears behind like her hair and the hood of her jacket. I guess so.
Ivy scoops Bia up and firmly puts her on her shoulder.
All right, good, because we're running. And that's like, not actually, but we're leaving really quick.
No, we're running.
What is happening?
Okay, we're running. He heads down the stairs, hands Nim all of their keys, and leaves a little pouch on, well, not a little, a medium-sized pouch on the counter with a note attached to it. It says, "Thank you for everything," and he leaves.
Ivy waves as she walks out.
Yeah, Elara looks so fucking confused and scared and...
Okay, be safe out there. You're always welcome.
As soon as they get out that door, Ivy is running.
Boy. Elara starts running too.
Véres, like, do you want to run or shall we blend in? Do we need to?
Can I ask what is happening?
I don't know what's happening with Ivy, but
Ivy's heading towards the town exit, and as they're running, she explains what happened.
Oh shit. Fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah. Unfortunately, has a heart attack.
All right. It's a shame we have to go past there to get out of here.
Is there not another way out?
We can go back the way we came and leave and go in direction of Grimford, but that's not a good idea.
So how are we going to get out the gate?
And we're just going to go through. Hope they don't know.
Well, they know what Ivy looks like.
Ivy puts her hood up.
They don't check for papers on the way out, typically.
Okay, but if they're here looking for us, then they might be.
He's thinking, he's racking his brain.
Elara's going to make a perception check. 14. Does she see anybody?
Looking at them?
Yeah, anybody that looks like they might be like...
There's a lot of people looking at you guys weird for like running and then stopping suddenly. People are confused, and then you guys are in the upper part of town now. So somebody does whisper you and you hear it. Isn't that the girl that the guards were looking for earlier?
Is there somewhere that they can like slip into out of sight?
Yeah, there's lots of alleyways. I think Véres grabs them both and heads towards an alleyway.
Stealth checks?
Yep, stealth checks.
Hey, that's actually not bad.
22.
19.
I got a lucky 13, you guys.
Hey, it's pretty good. With disadvantage, especially. What's Bia's stealth?
14.
I think you guys are able to disappear into the alleyway relatively unseen. You have a moment to decide what your course of action is.
Okay, so those people were whispering that the guards were looking for that girl. I'm assuming that girl is Ivy. So cool, I get it. We need to get out of here. What are the chances we can just walk out the front gates looking like this?
Probably not very good. We can leave to the waterway.
Like swim?
We head right out, go into the lake, and swim across to the other side.
Jesus Christ.
Or we can try to disguise ourselves.
I mean, Ivy, you can wild shape into a mouse again.
She nods.
That'll work.
What about you two, though?
I don't know. I don't think and she puts her hood up and she goes, do I look inconspicuous now?
No.
Definitely not.
Well, does anyone know how to disguise themselves or me? Anyone have a disguise kit in their pocket?
Véres drops his pack, starts rummaging through it.
Pulls out a kit.
I can change a few things very quickly. And he takes out a little makeup pack. Starts mixing things really quick, and I don't know what the role is, but he's gonna try to hide her freckles and change her features just very subtly.
Okay, what's a disguise kit roll? Let's see. Would it be sleight of hand?
I feel like
I think it's a performance.
Performance? Okay.
Yeah. Make a performance check.
Fuck, that's pretty good. It's an 18.
Okay. What does she look like now?
I think that he's obviously kept your hair the same color, but he's gotten rid of all signs of your freckles. Your brows are much thicker. Your face has been contoured to look like it's structured slightly differently, not like the typical like slightly round features that you have, more slender and defined. And I think that he's made the illusion that your eyes are smaller too.
Okay. I think that she takes out the oh my god. She takes out this dark brown cloak that she found when they were escaping the tunnels, and she puts it on her, like she puts the hood up, and as she like kind of fastens it, you watch it kind of like billows very dramatically of its own accord.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Is that a cloak of
It's a cloak of billowing. We don't know that yet, but
I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah. And she goes, okay, what about you?
He tucks the makeup kit away, pulls up a finger and disappears around the corner for a second. He comes back around and he is in like really well worn, like dark brown pants and like a linen shirt with like the chest open a bit. His hair is really dark brown and his eyes are still red. His skin it's not gray anymore. It's more like a pale complexion, and he's shorter. Looks a little shorter.
She goes, wow, you're really
Can I
good
roll a perception check or whatever on that?
Insight? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a 22.
Oh, Ivy, this is not makeup.
No.
Something's up. This is either magic or something is up.
Wow, you're really good at like costumes. That's so weird. Do I look like that too? And she looks at Ivy.
Ivy's staring at Véres.
He sees you staring at him and he just stares back at you, says nothing, shrugs. You look much different, but
Should I like hunch over?
change your posture a little bit.
She stands up straighter. She stands up so straight.
Mm-hmm. He slouches.
Okay, Ivy, mouse or spider? Do you want to be a spider and hang out with Norman in the hood of my jacket?
She shrugs, and you watch as the gold mist envelops her, and in its place is a little spider.
She puts her hand out.
All right, your name is not Elara. It's
Jennifer.
It's Jennifer Roundbottom.
There you go.
It's a family name. It's passed down from generation to generation.
All right, my name is Simon.
Simon. Nice to meet you, Simon. I'm Jennifer.
It's
Jennifer.
a pleasure.
Okay. Ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Is Ivy safely tucked away?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And
do
Bia
it.
is
Oh, fuck. Where's Bia?
Bia is on Varys' shoulder now.
How are we gonna... Can we walk out with Bia, do you think? Alara says in character.
He's like, Bia, get my backpack.
She does. She crawls in.
It's like, I'll let you out as soon as we're clear, I promise.
Varys, you lost your accent.
It's on purpose, I swear.
Oh, yes. Okay. Okay.
No, don't.
Yep. Okay, I'm ready to go, Simon.
Okay.
She's walking with like her chest out, you know,
Mhm.
and like swagger. She's got a little swagger.
Sure.
Okay.
Says, all right, so we're going to go right up. I'm just going to act casual.
No,
we're just
normal.
leaving.
Totally normal.
Yeah, we're carrying on. We're done here, so
Yeah, we're done. I'm not nervous at all.
you shouldn't be.
Okay.
Varys approaches the gate with you, and the guards do stop you. They're like, hey, wait a minute.
Hey.
Sorry, we're checking papers today, so...
Fuck. We don't have papers, do we?
Nope.
Okay.
Varys/Simon rolls his eyes, sighs like this is the most troublesome thing he's had to fucking deal with all day. And he just kind of like cracks his neck. He's like, do we have to? We really just packed everything up. He smiles. I'm sure you guys aren't paid enough for this. How about I just give you a little something to tide you over? And you let us through.
Roll persuasion check.
17.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Roll again.
Are we the same?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. 18.
Roll again.
Oh my
Whoa!
god.
16.
4.
Woo.
Amazing.
Yeah. So after a little bit of back and forth, I think the guard looks at you, like looks at. Are you holding out coin or something, or do you have coin in your hand, or?
He's rolling a coin over his fingers. It's
Yeah, I think an uncomfortably long amount of time. He's staring at you. He looks over at Elara, looks at you, and then holds out his hand and goes, "All right, you may pass."
awesome. And he takes his hand, shakes it, and he palms him 2 gold.
He nods, and as he's motioning over to the next people in line, slips his hand into his pocket.
Also, as you're doing that, there's more than one guard there. So, as you're passing through, I need you both to make a performance check or deception, one of the two.
I'm in a hood. Nobody can see me.
Oh, I'm gonna get Varys and Lara then.
Can I make my cloak billow dramatically and get advantage on my performance check?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, lucky 13 for 1. Lucky 13 it is. So that's going to be 14.
He raises an eyebrow at the billow dramaticness of the cloak,
She nods.
but he doesn't comment. You guys get away free and continue down the road.
And they'll keep on walking, yeah?
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S., if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pause is here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
Hello, everyone. I'm not even going to make anyone do the nose game today. My name is
Yay.
Ariana. I just realized that I have a voice when I do hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Take a level of exhaustion.
Yes, take a level of exhaustion with Laura.
Because I don't think she's shooting crossbows towards the building.
Yes. The bullseye's on the door.
I might have to lie and like actually be like, oh, I got a hit because I fucking roll so low all the time.
Incredible.
I know. It's so hard for me not to make a joke right now.
Fuck you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Hold it in.
Did you see my face turning red?
What's the strain? He
I also am obsessed that Elara has everyone eating pancakes in this inn.
yeah, everyone's eating habits have gone downhill since Elara got here.
It's all chocolate chip pancakes all the
All
time.
day,
all the
yes.
time. You know, ignoring them. No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me get my accent.
No, you have it. Thought you were ending the scene like that. I was like, what?
No.
And with that, fuck off.
No.
You hear, what up, bitch ass?
What up, baby cakes?
What's up, baby boy?
Bubbling. That turned out to be a lot more intense than I thought it would be. I thought he would pass his deception.
Oh, BB boy.
You were like, she's wearing a little.
She's wearing.
She's got ants in her pants. I'm so excited. You guys, this is the end of Downtime. Get us to this fucking theater.
The theater.
Theater!
The theater, as my grandfather calls it.
You know
The
what Ivy
theater.
is?
What is Ivy?
A lesbian thespian. Fuck us.
Okay. Sorry, let me rephrase this. My brain is not working.
They wish you good luck.
They wish you good luck.
I wish you good luck.
You're gonna fucking need it.
Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie boards.
1 5th edition gold piece is worth about 104 USD.
Yeah.
So I paid $200 for this ticket.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's
Protecting his private
Around
parts.
his dick.
Around his dick. I wrote glamorized.
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 He's David Bowie.
Yeah. You're killing it. I love it. I get why you turned your camera off, but keep going. I love it.
You should see the fucking acting I'm doing behind here. I'm moving. I'm moving. Look at the gift I'm
Oh, that was a squeak.
And I think that wraps our motherfucking time in Ozrin, baby.
What a way to leave.
Hey.
Hopefully we can get far enough away to let
that
Ivy
was
out of her
so
wild shape.
interesting. That was so interesting. All
That
of
was
the
a lot of
things.
fun.
I had fun.